की जय, Shri Radha Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Okay, so welcome to all of you to tonight's satsang. We'll be doing the glories of Hanumanji. And tonight I thought, first we will install Bhagavan in our hearts through that katha where Hanumanji meets Bhagavan. Hanumanji meets Bhagavan. And then tomorrow, having installed Bhagavan in our hearts, tomorrow we'll see the lecture of the katha of the meeting between two bhaktas. So first Bhagavan meets Bhakta and then Bhakta meets Bhakta. How should I have healthy relationship? What is that foundation of having healthy relationship? That we will see tomorrow. So in your bhajan packets, you will see all of the chaupais. All the chaupais are there for tonight and tomorrow. Page 9. So as we go through, we'll keep singing the different chaupais and I'll explain. So right now we are in Kishkindha Kanda of Shri Ramacharitmanasa, and we are at that point where Bhagavan Ramachandraji and Lakshmanaji, they are both in search of Janaki Devi. They have just left the ashram of Shabari Devi, and she has guided them, directed them to the Rishyamukha Parvat to meet Sugriva. So on the top of his mountain, Sugriva sees these two well-built, muscular men, and so he sends his minister in the form of Hanumanji to inquire who these two gentlemen are, who these two beings are. Are they friend of mine or are they enemies of mine? Do I need to welcome them or do I need to flee? So in this way, Hanumanji approaches both Bhagavan and Lakshmanji in the form of a Brahmana, and he inquires in this way. Give the scale. So the chorus is Shri Rama Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, right? You all can sing after me. Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama. 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 Ko tumh syamal gaur sarira. Jaya Jaya Rama. Chhati rup bhaiyo ban bira. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Kathin bhumi komal padgami. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Kavan hetu bicharahu ban swami. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. So in this way, Hanumanji inquires of Bhagavan Ramachandraji. And with this chaupais, these few chaupais, we see actually the discernment, the level of discernment of Hanumanji. So first he inquires, Ko tumha, who are you? Syamala and Gaura. You are both, one is dark in complexion and one is fair. And both of you, Sarira Chhatri Rupa Pirahu Banabira. Both of you, your bodies, your physical frame is like Kshatriya. Means, clearly you don't belong in the forest. So he's asking, right? What are you doing here? Both of you are well built, well structured. You definitely look like warriors, you look like Kshatriyas. Therefore, what are you doing here in this forest? Because you are no ascetic in this way. Then he asks, so this is first, he sees their physical form. Then he says, Kathina Bhumi, that this ground, the earth, it is so harsh, it is rough. So forest is in that way, and they are probably barefooted and so on. But Komala Padagami, your feet is so very soft. Because you have both spent your lives living in the comfort of palace. You have lived comfortable life. You are unaccustomed to forest life, forest dwelling. Hey Swami, dear masters, Kavana hetu bicharahu bana. So therefore, what are you doing in this forest? Where are you going? What is your destination? So we can see here that Hanumanji, his attention actually went on Bhagavan's feet. Because this is where my ashraya is. This is where my support is. His mind is drawn towards the feet of God. In the same way, and you can see this for yourself, your mind is similarly drawn towards the feet of Bhagavan. Or your mind is drawn towards the feet of your guru or your parents. And so therefore, every morning what we did, we bowed by parents' feet. Before going to bed at night, we bowed by parents' feet. That was the practice, right? And it was, everybody did only. Widely spread it was. Because there is where I have ashraya. That is my place of refuge, my place of shelter. There I feel at home. That is my world in this way. That is the bhava that we have towards Bhagavan, towards Guru, towards parents. That whatever I need, I will find it right here. And therefore we do Namaskara. Then Hanumanji, his third observation is on the limbs of Bhagavan and Lakshmanji. He says that your limbs are so supple, it is delicate. Even though you are muscular, but your limbs are, your skin is soft. And you are here in the harshness of this environment. Scorching sun, right? Harsh elements you have exposed yourself to. And then the fourth observation that he made was, are you the Holy Trinity? Are you Brahma, Shiva, Mahesha? Or are you Naranarayana? Or are you Bhagavan himself? Are you Ishvara? Are you the cause of this universe? So 4 observations he made, right? That first, you are Kshatriya, you are warrior. Second is on his feet. Feet is so soft. Third is the limbs. Your skin is soft. And fourth observation is, are you Bhagavan? In this way, Hanumanji inquires. But when you see Bhagavan's response, he says what? His response has nothing to do with the fourth question actually, right? He says, Kosalesa dasaratha ke jaye hama pitu bachana mani bana aaye. He says that we are the sons of Dasharath Maharaj. And on his instruction, we are here in this forest. We are in exile. And while here, what happened? We had one lovely lady with us. Her name is Vaidehi, the daughter of Janaka Maharaj. And this Ravana, he kidnapped her. So we are looking for her. In this description of himself, introduction of himself, Bhagavan agrees, you are right. You said I am Kshatriya. Yes, I am the son of Dasharath Maharaj. I am the son of a king. So I am Kshatriya. So I am accustomed to palace life. My feet are soft and so on. Limbs are accustomed to comfort. And what are we doing here? We are here in search of Janaki Devi. But the fourth question, Bhagavan never answers. He never says, I am Bhagavan. He never says, I am Ishvara. He never says, I am the cause of the universe. But even though he doesn't answer the fourth question, still Hanumanji recognizes this is Ishvara. This is the Lord of the manifestation. Now, Bhagavan gave his introduction and he is asking Hanumanji, you please introduce yourself. But when you see Bhagavan's introduction, it is very brief, right? And in Bhagavan's request, he says, you tell me in detail who you are. Extensively you tell me. Comprehensively you tell me who you are. Why? Because Hanumanji is still in disguise. So some deceit is there, right? You know, like when you are talking to somebody and you catch them in a lie, what you do, you start asking questions, more and more questions, because you want to call them out. Like that, Bhagavan is telling, you tell me in detail who you are. Because I know this form that you have presented is not who you are. You cannot hide from me only, right? So show me who you truly are. See, in the same way Hanumanji approached Bhagavan in Brahmana disguise, in the same way we approach Bhagavan in disguise also. Because out in the world, we wear one set of clothing. And when we come and present ourselves to Bhagavan, we present ourselves in a totally different way. And when I say clothing, I don't mean physical clothes, right? I mean in demeanor, in behavior, and things like that. The way we behave outside and the way we behave towards Bhagavan in the mandir, in the ashram, is very different. So what am I presenting to Bhagavan is actually a disguise. Not so? So Bhagavan is asking, you please tell me who you are. Show me who you are. Describe to me in detail who you are, because I know this is not who you are. There is one bhajan that we sing, you know, Maili Chadar orh ke kaise. In that bhajan, the artist, the author, the poet, he is telling, you know, I have lived my whole life. I have not sung the glory of Bhagavan's name. I have done so many negative things, how can I present myself to you, Bhagavan, with a dirty shawl? Means with a dirty mind, with an impure mind. How can I present myself to you in this way? Now that I have lived my entire life, how can I present myself in this way? So some disguise is there. Bhagavan is asking us, you please drop that disguise and come to me as you are. So now Bhagavan introduced himself. I am the son of Dashrath Maharaj. We are looking for Janaki Devi. Bhagavan never answers the fourth question that I am Ishvara, I am the Lord of the universe. Yet Hanumanji recognizes, this is my Prabhu, this is my Swami, this is my Bhagavan. So now we sing. Both we'll sing, next two chaupais we'll sing together. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. 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 Prabhu pahchani pare ugahi charna. Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. So sukha uma jai nahi barna. Pulakit tan mukh avan bachna. देखत रुचिर बेश कई रचना. पुनि धीरजु धरिया स्तुति कीन्ही. हर्ष हृदय निज नाथ ही चीन्ही. मोर न्याऊ में पूछा साई. तुम पूछहु कस नर की नाई. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. So even though Bhagavan does not respond to the fourth question, still Hanumanji recognizes, this is my Prabhu. Prabhu pahchani. You are my Lord. You are my Master. So now we have to ask the question, if Bhagavan never showed, how did Hanumanji recognize? How was he able to recognize that this is Ishvara? Because so many avatars are there, right? Bhagavan Krishna is there, Bhagavan Rama took avatar, and you can see some people recognize this is Bhagavan, and there are others who fail to recognize. So Kauravas did not recognize that this is Bhagavan Krishna. Ravana did not recognize this is Bhagavan, this is Ishvara, even though they were told. Still they were not able to come to that understanding. So how is it that without being told, Hanumanji recognized this is my Lord? That recognition will not happen when tamas is pradhana, when tamas is predominant. In the case of Kauravas and Ravana. But that same Ravana had a brother, Vibhishana. But Vibhishana recognized. Because between the two brothers, you can see the difference. Ravana is tamasic and Vibhishana is sattvic. So while Ravana never recognized, but Vibhishana recognized. On the one hand, you have Kauravas. On the one hand, you had Arjuna. Kauravas were tamasic. Arjuna was given Divya Drishti to see Bhagavan's Vishwarupa, the cosmic form, the universal form. So how is it they were able to recognize Bhagavan? It is because of that satwa. That satwa was pradhana. That satwa was predominant. That Divya Drishti that Bhagavan blessed Arjuna with on the battlefield. What is that Divya Drishti, you know? That ability to shift focus from Vyashti, from the individual, to Samashti, to the totality. That is what Divya Drishti is. Divya Drishti means the ability to shift focus from the individual to the total. Now, how can I shift my attention from individual to total? I have to drop that ahankara. That is what that means, really, right? Dropping the ahankara is dropping that vyashti to pick up that vision of samashti. That is Divya Drishti, that is Sattva. That is what Sattva Pradhana means. Right? This is how they were able to recognize Bhagavan. This is how they were able to recognize Ishvara. So now the question is, okay, we need Sattva to recognize Ishvara. Well, how to develop Sattva should be the next question. So exactly what you are doing here, that is how, one way, you will develop that Sattva. Through satsang, through yajnas, your karma yoga, all of your seva that you do for mission and for the community, all of the pujas that we perform. So right before this lecture, we had Guru Paduka Puja. Then Mandir is here. So puja goes on every single day. Through those means, we develop that purity, that sattva. So all of our sadhanas, whatever you do, however you practice, that is the means through which we cultivate sattva. But then we notice something in ourselves. I come to satsang and I feel sattvic, and maybe it lasts for the night and the next day, and then it takes a dip. Or we had yajna, couple last week or week before, right? Sampurna Gita yajna you had. So I am sure you would have felt the jolt of that yajna. Not so? You would have felt a surge of energy after finishing the yajna. We went to Krishnalaya for this summer, and we spent few weeks there. And coming back from that, you felt that energy. You were tired physically, but mentally you were alert, revived. And then after a few weeks pass, it takes a dip. That is what happens, right? And all of us can attest to it. It means that satwa hasn't been able to sustain, right? So then the next question should be, okay, if I need satwa to recognize Bhagavan, but how do I ensure that satwa is sustained? So I am sure you would have heard your sadhana has to be consistent. So how to develop sustainability? It is through consistency, regularity. That I cannot come to satsang once a week or do some sadhana once a week and then stop. Let me ask you a question. How many times in a day do you eat? 3, 4, 5 times a day. For what? For your somebody said 2. But still you eat twice a day, right? You eat on a daily basis. So some sustainability is there for your body. If we are feeding the body 4 times a day, 3 times a day on average, and body is physical, is a physical instrument, what to talk of the mind, which is a subtle instrument? You should be feeding it even more than the body. This is what it means to be consistent. That you're supposed to feed that mind not once a week. You should feed that mind 3, 4, 5 times a day. Through your karma yoga and your bhakti yoga and whatever sadhanas that you do. It should be consistent, it should be regular. This is one key to that developing sustainability. And the second part of that is that it should be sincere. Why am I engaging in this sadhana? So I do japa every single day. Rama, 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 until 108. And not once I thought about Bhagavan Rama. I am doing it just for the sake of getting through the japa mala so that I can say I do japa every single day. That is going to Bhagavan in disguise. Right? So that sadhana should also be sincere. That when I chant that name of Rama, it should be with a heart so full and overflowing with love. That one Rama should be equivalent to 108 Ramas. That why am I taking the name of the Lord? It is simply because I love the Lord and nothing else. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a portion on bhakti, right? And there, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji, he has written commentary on those shlokas. And he says there in that commentary that when we practice these kinds of sadhanas, this is the point he was making, when we practice these sadhanas, it should not be with the goal that Bhagavan should be pleased with me. That should not be the goal, that Bhagavan is pleased with me. The goal is that Bhagavan should be pleased, full stop. I am not doing it so that Bhagavan is pleased with me. I am doing it so that Bhagavan is pleased. Remove the other part of the sentence. That just because I love you, just because I adore you, therefore I am doing. It is not for a personal gain. It is for adoration. It is for praise. It is for your glory. It is so that I can show my love. You know, when we are all children, right? Parents' birthday comes up or Christmas comes up. You don't work, right? You're not making money or anything like that. So what do? What do we give? But we want to give a gift to parents. So we go take some paper, we fold it up in some way, and we say, yeah, happy birthday, right? Just because I want to show that I love you. You think parent cannot buy something for himself or herself? Absolutely. This is a small piece of paper only you have, cut up into a heart and color and things like that. So it is not about what we are giving. It is the love with which we give. Like that, what matters in sadhana is the love we have in the heart. So therefore Bhagavan says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachhati tadaham bhakthyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. He says that whether you offer leaf, flower, fruit, water, it really doesn't matter what you offer. What I want is the love in your heart. And if you offer with that bhava, if you offer with that love, that I accept. So, two things are there. One is consistency, and second is sincerity. And that sincerity is in the form of this love. That sincerity is that, Bhagavan, I don't need you to be pleased with me. Bhagavan, I want you to be pleased. Because I want to offer my love. What I am offering is really my heart. I am offering my love in this way. So, Hanumanji recognized Bhagavan. Why? Because satwa was pradhana. How do we make satwa pradhana? By doing all of these sadhanas in the form of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. And how do we ensure that that satwa remains predominant, that it is sustained? It is through consistency and sincerity. In this way, we are able to recognize the merciful Lord. So, Hanumanji recognized Bhagavan and Pareu Gahi Charana. Hanumanji falls to the ground clasping Bhagavan's lotus-like feet. Now, in this katha, this is the first time Hanumanji does Namaskara. But he does Namaskara in the Brahmana disguise, right? Like that, every sadhaka starts off in that way. We start off going to Bhagavan in some disguise. But when that love starts to develop, then that disguise drops. Because that heart becomes purified, that mind becomes purified, and all of the, whatever was there in before, that automatically goes away. So Hanumanji does Namaskara in Brahmana form. Now when would we do Namaskara? So like I was explaining before, we bow our heads towards Bhagavan. We bow towards the feet of Guru. We bow towards parents. Because there is where I have Ashraya Buddhi. there is where I seek refuge. I seek shelter. There is where I find peace. So there where I have ashraya buddhi, there I will do namaskara. Ashraya buddhi means that thought, that understanding that this is my place of shelter, my place of refuge. And for that sadhaka, for that bhakta, Bhagavan alone is that place of refuge. The rest of the world, what they do? They seek the world. Their ashraya buddhi is in the world itself. But for a devotee, for a sadhaka, his ashraya buddhi is in Bhagavan. And for him, he has no backup plan. You know what backup plan is, right? That I have this goal, I have this method, and if A doesn't work, if plan A doesn't work, I have plan B. Bhakta says, Bhagavan is my refuge and nothing else. I have no plan B. What Bhagavan provides, that I will accept. What work Bhagavan sends my way, that I will do. So if Bhagavan sends food today for me, I will eat. If Bhagavan doesn't, then I will fast. He has ashraya buddhi in Bhagavan and nothing else. So now, Hanumanji is really Bhagavan Shiva, right? Bhagavan Shiva takes avatar as Hanumanji. So now he is telling the Uma Parvati, this is my direct experience. What is that? So sukha Uma jai nahi barana. He says, Uma Devi, that joy which I felt in my heart, when I recognized Bhagavan, that joy is indescribable. You know, and we have all experienced this, right? You know when you're thirsty and your mouth is dry and the back of your throat is dry and all you want is just a cold glass of water? You don't want soft drink, you don't want juice, you don't want anything else. What you want? Just water. And the moment you drink that water, that thirst is quenched, how you feel? Have you ever tried to describe that to anybody? You could describe the thirst very well. My mouth is dry, my throat is dry, right? But can you describe the quenching of the thirst? Only somebody who has experienced that thirst and experienced that thirst being quenched will understand your joy. Not so? Like that, he is saying, this joy that I feel is indescribable. But he who has experienced it, he will understand. And you know what it is like also? When you meet your guru, right? So many saints and sages are there, but there is that one guru who has your heart the minute you meet. You love all sadhus, all saints and sages, you love. You have that reverence and respect. But there's that one guru, when you meet him, you understand, you are mine and I am yours. And that meeting is an indescribable one. That feeling is an indescribable one. It is in the form of a recognition, actually. So, Bhagavan Shiva is telling Uma Parvati Devi that joy that I felt when I met Bhagavan Rama, that joy is indescribable. And only that person who has experienced that joy will understand. So Hanumanji meets his Prabhu. Dekhata ruchira beshakai rachana. And Goswami Tulsidas ji says, as Hanumanji allowed his eyes to roam over the form and the clothes of Bhagavan, Pulakita Tana. His hair stood on end, he had goosebumps. And Mukha Avana Bachana. No words came to his mouth. He became speechless. And truly speaking, when you have experienced that joy, that is exactly how you feel. How can you describe? It is just something that is to be experienced. So, no words came to his mouth, and he experienced this thrill throughout his body. Then what did he do? Puni dhira judhari astuti kinhi. So he composed himself and he sang the glories of Bhagavan Ramachandra ji. Harsha hridaya nija nathahi chinhi. And now his heart became full and overflowing with love, overjoyed that I have finally found my master. Even though, technically speaking, his master is Sugriva, but the Lord of my heart is Bhagavan Ramachandra ji. Moranya ume pucha sai. So now Hanumanji addressed Bhagavan Rama. He said, "O Bhagavan, that I did not recognize you initially. And therefore I asked, I inquired, who are you? But Bhagavan, how is it you fail to recognize me? How could you have forgotten me? Tumha puchahu kasa naraki nai. How is it that you have inquired of me as though you are mortal? That you have means you've forgotten me. How is it you did not recognize me? I am under your maya, right? I am under the spell of ignorance. I am mandamati. I am of dull intellect. Mohabasa. I am deluded. Kutila hridaya. And my heart is full of impurities. And ajnanam. I am ignorant. For these reasons, I did not recognize you. But Bhagavan, how is it that you did not recognize me? How is it that you have forgotten me? Tumha puchahu kasa naraki nai. You are my Prabhu also. You are my Lord, you are my Master. Dina Bandhu you are. You are the befriender of those who are downtrodden. And you are Bhagavan. How is it that you have forgotten me? So it is not that Bhagavan forgot Hanumanji, because Ishvara is Saravagnya, right? Bhagavan is inquiring of Hanumanji because he came in that disguise. I want you to drop that disguise. I want you to reveal yourself to me. I know you already. I want you to own it up. See, we also have flaws. We also express impurities. Anger is there sometimes, jealousy is there sometimes, right? We all have that. You think Bhagavan doesn't know that? You think Bhagavan didn't already see that? Why are we waiting to fix ourselves before presenting ourselves to Bhagavan? See, many people you talk to, they say, I don't want to go to Mandir, or I don't want to study Vedanta because I still have all of these negativities in me. But this is where you go to get rid of it only, right? dirty shawl is there, you go to Bhagavan. He already knows you and accepted you. Not so? Hanumanji is there in Brahmana form. Bhagavan already accepted him. The parts of our personality that we don't show the world, you think Bhagavan doesn't already know that? Why are we hiding it? Right? Go there, you worship and you say, you ask, hey Bhagavan, this is in my heart. I know that some impurity is there. You please help me to cleanse it. That is why I am here. That is why I am praying to you. Because I need help to get rid of it. I don't like it. I don't want it as part of my personality. When I express anger or impatience, right? I don't like that part of my personality. Therefore, I am in front of you praying, you please help me remove it. I need that guidance. You are the one with the strength to help me get out of it, to help me dissolve that. On my own, I may not be able to do, but you are the one with the strength. In all forms and all avatars Bhagavan took, it is always to destroy something or the other, some negativity or the other. That negativity is not really Ravana, is not really Kauravas, right? Is not some demon, it is the impurity in my heart. That is the purpose of the avatar. Ravana and Kauravas are just a symbol to represent those negative tendencies. So it is not that Bhagavan has forgotten or did not recognize Hanumanji. He is trying to encourage Hanumanji. You drop that negativity. You drop that disguise. And you own up that identity that you are mine. You belong to me now. You are my devotee. You are my bhakta. This is your identity. And with that, if you look at the rest of Ramayana, anytime anybody asked Hanumanji, who are you? Hanumanji always, without a second, said, I am Ramadasa. I am Ramaduta. I am the servant of the Lord. I am the messenger of the Lord. That was his only response. Because this is the identity that he owned up. When I drop that Brahmana disguise, this is the identity that I owned up, that I am servant of God. When he met Sita Devi in Ashoka Vatika, he said, Ramaduta mein Matu Janaki. O dear mother Janaki, I am Ramaduta. But when somebody asks us, who are you? Then we have this nice long paragraph, right? Our only identity is Ramaduta mein. So Bhagavan is encouraging Hanumanji, you please drop that negativity or drop your disguise and own up. Own up your identity that you are my bhakta, you are my devotee. So now Hanumanji pleads with Bhagavan because he says, because of your Maya, I was not able to recognize you. So therefore, नाथ जीव तव माया मोहा श्री राम जय जय राम सो निस्तरई तुम्हारे छोहा श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम जय राम. So he says, "O Bhagavan, that because of your Maya, I was not able to recognize you. Therefore, please, you get rid of this Maya. You save me from this delusion. And how will I be saved? It is only by your grace, by your anugraha." In that Chaupai earlier on in Balakanda, where Goswami Tulsidas ji glorifies satsang, he says, "Binu satsang vivek na hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabha na soi." He says that without the grace of Lord Rama, satsang is not easily attained. So what is the grace of Lord Rama? The grace is in the form of that satsang. So how to get over Maya, how to cross over Maya, it is through that satsang only. So when Hanumanji says, "Help me to cross over that Maya," and it is only available through your grace, what he is asking for is satsang. That through satsang, I will learn how to recognize Bhagavan. This is the means. In the past, right? You know what happened? So, all Chinmaya mission centers are there, and so many acharyas are there, and everybody is giving pravachan, yajnas, teaching so many different texts. And what we said, "Oh, Swamiji, I cannot attend because my life is so busy." Right? My life is busy, therefore I don't have time. And Bhagavan heard all of us. And he blessed us with COVID. Yeah? So 3 years, we didn't have anything to do. Only remote work was there. Now, I'm not asking you, you answer for yourself. Did you go to the satsang? Because that is how Bhagavan blessed you. So no activity was outside, so all that went down. And all satsang went up, because satsang became available on Zoom, on YouTube, on Facebook, and all of these platforms that became available. Did you take it? Did you take the opportunity that Bhagavan blessed us with? Right? I am not asking you, don't answer. You can answer yourself. So this was the opportunity that Bhagavan gave us to increase our satwa, to get to know him, to get to understand who Bhagavan is, to get to recognize Bhagavan in our daily life. Now Goswami, Hanumanji is telling in the next chaupai, we'll just read it only, we won't sing it. Sevaka sutapati matu bharose rahai asocha banai prabhu pose. Now he is, in this chaupai, he is explaining, or he is describing the level of dependency the jiva has on Bhagavan. And he gives 2 examples. He says, in the same way, the servant is dependent on the master. And in the same way, the child is dependent on the mother. so too the jiva is dependent on the Bhagavan. Not on the Bhagavan, but on Bhagavan, on Ishvara. Because without the grace and blessings and support of Bhagavan, I will not get Guru. I will not get satsang. I will not get access to scriptures. And if I don't get access to scriptures, then what happens? Then for me, samsara continues. Maya continues. And I continue to not recognize Bhagavan in the universe. That Bhagavan who is all-pervading, who is ever-present in this universe, expressing as every being, as every object, as every atom, I will never be able to understand that Bhagavan or recognize that Bhagavan. So I need the grace of God, and I am dependent on that grace of God to be able to cross this samsara, to be able to cross this maya. In this way, Bhagavan takes care of us. Then in the next chaupai, Hanumanji resumes or assumes his original form. He drops that disguise and he understands, I am really Ramadasa. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. As kahi pare charan akulai. Nij tanu pragati preeti ur chhai. Tab raghupati uthai ur lawa. Nij lochan jalasi chi judawa. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Siyavar Ramchandra ki jai. So Hanumanji, he assumed his normal monkey form, Vanara form, and overflowing with love, he fell to the feet of Bhagavan and did Namaskara. So first Namaskara he did with Brahmana disguise. Now next Namaskara he does with his original form as Ramadasa. Meaning that we cannot hide who we are. We cannot hide our flaws, our impurities, our negativities. You just go before Bhagavan as you are. Bhagavan will take care of the rest. There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 9. Chapter 9, shloka 30. It says, Api chet suduracharaha bhajate mamananya bhag sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha. Bhagavan Shri Krishna there says, he says, even if one individual is suduracharaha, he is not just wicked, he is extremely wicked, most vile indeed. If that person worships me with ananya bhakti, exclusive devotion, to me, Bhagavan says, to me, that person is sadhu. that person who the entire world categorizes as wicked and evil and vile, I categorize that person as a sadhu. Because he has made that right resolve and worshipped me with exclusive devotion. Exclusive devotion means you worship Bhagavan, you have dependency on Bhagavan and nothing else. Nothing of this world has my heart. I don't depend on anything else of this world for support. My only ashraya is Bhagavan. For me, that person is sadhu. So yes, we may have some impurity in our heart. You still go to Bhagavan and you worship. Bhagavan says you are sadhu only. So in this way, Hanumanji drops that disguise. He does Sharanagati. And then Bhagavan Ramachandraji, Taba Raghupati Uthai Ura Lava. Bhagavan lifts him up and grasps him to his bosom, to his chest. He hugs him, he embraces him. Nijalochana Jala Sichi Judava. And Bhagavan wept. His tears fell on Hanumanji and moistened his skin. Because what makes Bhagavan cry, what melts Bhagavan's heart, it is that self-effort of the bhakta. That recognition of that jiva who says, Bhagavan, I belong to you now. When I own up my identity as a devotee of God, that makes Bhagavan's heart melt. When I become bhakta. In this way, Hanumanji is embraced by Bhagavan. And Bhagavan says to Hanumanji, Suno kapi jiya manasi jani una. Dear Hanuman, let your heart be lifted. Don't be depressed at heart. Don't beat yourself up for not recognizing me. I accept you as you are. Tai mama priya lachi manate duna. And you are twice as dear to me as Lakshmana. That Lakshmana who just got married and very soon after he left his wife to go to the forest for 14 years to serve Bhagavan. That Lakshmana who did not sleep for 14 years. That Lakshmana, you are twice as dear to me. Do you know why? Because Lakshmana is serving Bhagavan. Hanumanji is serving Bhagavan and Bhakta. You know that katha where immediately after this katha, Hanumanji takes both Bhagavan and Lakshmana on the shoulder to meet Sugriva. Who he is serving? He is serving Bhagavan and Bhakta. He didn't say, Bhagavan, you come here, Lakshman, you walk. Right? He didn't say that. He is serving both Bhagavan and devotee of Bhagavan. Therefore, Hanumanji is twice as dear. Like that, we are not serving Gurudev alone, or we are not serving Swamiji alone. We are supposed to be serving each other also. Right? So, you are twice as dear. Samadarasi mohi kaha sabaku. Bhagavan says, everybody says that I look upon everybody with samadarasi, with equanimity. But sevaka priya ananyagati so. But a servant is most dear to me because he depends on me. His ashraya is me. His support is me. He depends on me and therefore he is priya for me. He is very dear to me. Then we conclude with the doha. So ananya jaake asi mati natarai Hanumanta मैं सेवक सचराचर रूप स्वामी भगवंत सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भय सब संतन की जय. Bhagavan says, so ananya jake asi mati natarai Hanumanta. O Hanuman, that individual, that jiva who is exclusively devoted to me, ananya jake asi. His mati is, he has conviction. What is that conviction? That I am expressing in this world as animate and inanimate beings. Means animate beings and inanimate objects. That person who has that understanding, he serves the world with that understanding. That person is very dear to my heart. He recognizes me as his master. That person is dear to me. Means that person who has understood that Bhagavan is the cause of the universe. And the cause pervades the effect. There is no place where the cause is not. So if Bhagavan is the cause of the universe, then Bhagavan is pervading the universe. There is no place in this universe where Bhagavan is not. Then how can I label this as good and this as bad? One as pure, one as impure. I cannot, because Bhagavan is satwa pradhanam, right? Vishuddha satwa, actually. So how can I label something as good or bad? How can I label this as negative or positive? I cannot, because Bhagavan, who is Vishuddha Sattva, is pervading the entire universe. Then how can I have anga there? How can I have dislike there? How can I have jealousy there if Bhagavan is pervading that? I cannot. So that person who understands this fundamental concept, that Bhagavan is the cause of the universe, Bhagavan pervades the universe as the cause, such a person, in his heart, there cannot exist dislike. Because I claim to love Bhagavan. I claim to love Bhagavan, and Bhagavan is pervading this universe. So how can I have dislike there? How can I have anger there? How can I have jealousy there? In this way, with this understanding, those negativities will just evaporate. Right? So Bhagavan says, that person who understands this principle and serves the world with this understanding, and who is exclusively devoted to me, such a person is dear to me. That is my bhakta. That is who make my heart melt. And you are that person, O Bhagavan, O Hanumanji. This is how Hanumanji is the ideal bhakta. This is how we should make ourselves, cultivate ourselves to be like Hanumanji. And therefore, that is the topic of the camp as well as the satsang. Right? Okay. So tomorrow we will see the meeting now of two bhaktas between Vibhishana and Hanumanji. Yeah. So we'll do final arti. No, let's just do Gurudev Arti, na? We'll do Gurudev Arti, yeah. We'll just stand for Gurudev Arti. गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे नंदलाल हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे नंदलाल हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाये शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्ध बाणी की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांतिः हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भय सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय हरि ओम all of the Chikkampas, you please remain here. We'll address you for some time. And all of the bhajan packets, you can leave. You can leave it here today. Yeah. You can leave it and then collect it tomorrow. Right? You can hand our check by the door. Hiram, can you come to the stage, please?
So to our residential chicks, right? Tomorrow morning, 7:45, we're going to be having yoga and meditation. Hiram will take yoga, and then I'll come for meditation, right? So we have only one shower in the boys' one that is working, but there's only about 4 or 5 of you. So I think you should be able to, if someone can volunteer to wake up a little earlier and then wake up. Let Nishant sleep last because he's jet lag. I have a lot of sympathy.